make you laugh, shows that make you think, music that moves you. It could only be one place. Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi everybody, I'm Ron Brewington and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Brought to you by Photography as an Art, Harvey Brandman, Master Photographer. Located at 1307 North San Fernando Boulevard in Burbank, California. And the newly released book, Mass Murders in America, written by attorney Ron Irwin. Available from Lulu Press at lulu.com, that's lulu.com, in paperback for the price of $15.37. My guest today has a fabulous career in entertainment public relations, where she has had this for over 2 decades of experience in the industry's leading publicist, she's considered. Her international PR company represents many of the top names in film, music, and television. A native of Puerto Rico, my guest handles the Latino outreach for major studios here in Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the president and CEO of Espada. Please welcome Jasmin Espada.
Thank you. Hi, Ron.
That's Espada PR.
Yes.
Thank you, my dear.
Espada
Thank you.
PR.
Thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Ron.
I would say that you have one of the best jobs in Hollywood. Would you say that?
I do, and I love it. And it is a lot of work because it's really 24/7. But when you love what you do, then it doesn't feel like work.
Gotcha.
So I'm really fortunate and I'm blessed, yes.
Is it true you have to have a certain personality to be a publicist? Is that true?
Well, you know, there are characteristics like you have to have a personality that is able to inspire others, but the main characteristic, I think, is able to work and confront work.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yes, it can get overwhelming.
Yes.
There's a lot of money involved in this. People are paying their money. They don't want to hear no mess. So
Right.
we'll talk about that a little later on. But let's go back to the age of 19 when you started your career in entertainment as a radio co-host. You got behind the mic.
Yes.
What was that like?
Ironically enough, yes, that was in Ponce, which is the town where I was born, south of Puerto Rico. And there was a show on KLEO station, and a guy named Jonathan Goitia, and he invited me to do the entertainment and art segments. So that's how I did it. And I used to do it when I came back from, from college to, during the summer. So it was fun.
What type of music were you playing?
Well, it was mainly art, what I talked about. But we also had celebrities come, like soap opera stars. He will visit the show. It was mainly that.
Okay. Then you went to college at UMass Boston, where you had several jobs, including coordinating rock concerts and special events on campus.
Yes, I found that myself, that job. Yes, he followed me always, big fan of music. So I became this student trustee's assistant. So I booked, acts like Lisa and Cold Jam. So I thought I was like the coolest person on earth.
Indeed.
And, John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band, and, bands like that will go to college campuses. It was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot.
Okay. Because when you get behind that mic, and they go, you're on, you got to do your thing. Got to do your thing.
That's right.
In 1991, with a degree in hand, you relocated here to Los Angeles, leading to a job in the nonprofit sector. Then your next job led to your initiation in film publicity on the film Bound by Honor.
Yes.
You worked with the great publicist Catherine Moore.
Yes, my big mentor and my inspiration, actually. She was also the main publicist in Pretty Woman.
Yes.
And of this movie in particular, it's called Bound by Honor, but the real title was Blood In and Blood Out. It was a gang prison movie.
Okay.
Distributed by Buena Vista, which is Disney. So imagine all the things that happened. The movie almost never saw the light of day because, there were riots on movie theaters, had to call the SWAT team. But the experience of filming in a prison where you had to inventory even this paper clips.
Yes.
it was an incredible experience, you know, and all the trips to San Francisco to go to St. Quentin prison, which is where it was shot.
Yes.
It was boot camp for me.
Makes you appreciate your freedom.
Right. You met great people who are there, you know, amazing people we met. Yeah.
And say, what did you do? I didn't do nothing.
Yes.
But you're here now.
Yes.
3 years later, in 1994, you joined Mission Renaissance, the world's largest fine arts school.
Yes.
That was interesting.
That was interesting because I always wanted to become a painter, and that's how I learned how to paint. Like the old masters, my mentor and teacher was the late Larry Gluck, who I consider my California dad. And he developed a method where you can teach anyone to draw and paint. You know, he also wrote a book called The Talent Myth, which you find very interesting. I started teaching art, and then I became the in-house publicist. And we did a lot of press for Mission Renaissance, a lot.
And you still paint?
Yes, well, not lately, but I'm trying. I was telling a friend of mine, Susie, yesterday that I'm going to start again.
Yes, relaxing.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's great,
You're
just for fun.
Exactly, because you're under enough stress as it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I can get away from it there.
Right.
One could see that with all these things that you were doing, you were preparing yourself for a career. Is that true?
Yes.
Pay your dues.
I was. And, you know, and my dream has always been to inspire other women to get into the field of public relations. You know, it's been, you know, one of my goals.
Yes.
And I want young girls to know that this is a career that you can, you know, if you get trained, you can do. If I can do it, I come from a small town, Salinas, Puerto Rico, of 6,000 people. Anybody can do it.
How close to Mayagüez is Salinas?
Well, Salinas is right in middle, you know, below San Juan, if you draw a line, and then Mayagüez is on the opposite coast.
Right.
Yeah.
One of my dear friends back in Harlem when I was a kid growing up was a guy named Leo Garcia. He was from Mayagüez, Puerto Rico.
Oh, yes.
And he
Yeah.
would
Well,
always-
our senior publicist is from Mayagüez. Big shout out to Camille Cortez. She's our senior publicist.
So what was your first job in entertainment?
I guess my first job in entertainment has got to be the one with Catherine. You know, the shooting of the movie Blood In and Blood Out. Yeah.
Okay. Then you started getting clients.
Yes, and it's very interesting because you asked me which one was the first one. I think that when I decided to open Espada PR, I had a group of first clients. One of them is the great Christy Nelson, who's an amazing interior designer. She's a celebrity interior designer, and there were others too. Karina Rico, a singer-songwriter from Mexico. You know, there was a group, and then from that it grew to the group that we have today, which we are very proud of. You know, people like Isai Morales, whose career is amazing. He's in many shows. Right now he's on Superfly.
Another Superfly is coming out?
Yeah, this is the remake, yeah.
Remake,
yeah.
okay.
Yes.
I'm wondering who's going to do the music.
Yes, I wonder too. I will find
Yes.
out soon enough.
Yes.
He's on the set, and he also just wrapped How to Get Away with Murder. And he's in the first season of Ozark, which is a show that is very successful on Netflix.
Okay. How do you get a client?
Word of mouth.
WOM.
That's right.
That's what I call it.
That's right. Best form of advertising.
Yes,
if
ma'am.
it worked for you, it will work for me.
Yes.
Yes, never did an ad. People, in my environment will, well, let's do something on Variety. But it always works that the clients bring the other clients. It's always been happening like that. So why change it?
Indeed. If it's working, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Don't fix it. Here's a subject that a lot of people have a problem with in this industry. They don't see a need for a publicist.
Right.
Can you explain that, please?
Yes, and it comes, I think, from a misconception that talent have, which is, I'm going to get a publicist when I get a big studio film. And that is false information. When you get a studio film, the studio is going to promote the film, and you're going to be part of an ensemble. And the movie, and yes, they're great. The studios are great doing the junkets, and but they hire us to actually do the individual PR. And also, we also promote the movie because in the case of the studios, they want the Latino public. So, and we are the ones that bring them into the Latin press.
Right. How strong is the demand for Latinos?
A lot, very strong, very strong. I mean, one of many of the franchises in Hollywood have made by the Latino public. For example, I think the Fast and the Furious franchise for example,
Okay.
it's very, very Latino driven. And that's the public that they go after. And of course, they send their stars to talk to the Latino press. Very important step. Yeah.
Okay. You also mentioned to me, and that's very, very informative, it's about right time to get a publicist. What is the right time?
I think as soon as you can afford one and the publicist is open to work with you, there's many things that you need in order to get your image out there. You know, if it's an APK, if it's a bio, we work with talent in all different levels. So out of sight, out of mind.
Okay. What are some of the services that you provide for a client?
Besides advice, career advice, you know, they ask us, you know, is this agency good? How do I get a manager? I am very managerial in how I do things. So we as a group help our clients in all different levels, not only writing a press release, but we advise them, we create their image. Which is key. Especially in the social media world that we live, where things are out so fast. Before, we had more control on things. You know, we released news on Monday. You know, we sent the fax to the networks, and it was a system. But now, you know, recently an editor of a magazine told me, you know, you guys should tell your clients to stop killing their own exclusives, because you know, they want to run an exclusive, but then they already put it on Twitter. Right. Then, you know, it's like a tug of war between the editors in social media, you know, to protect the content.
Gotcha. Because we've seen the growth in this industry. There was a time when only certain people control what went on in this town.
Right.
Now everybody, these young kids are coming out of college, they got themselves a digital camera, they got a script, and they say, get out of my way.
That's right. And it's great about that, you know. It's like American Idol, what, you know, did for the record labels. You know, the record labels control the music industry. But then after that, they couldn't control it anymore. And I think that puts the power in the hands of the people, and I think that's great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody loves them, their friends, their family, and all that good stuff like that.
Right.
You got it going on there. It's a great field.
Yes.
Great field.
Yes.
You talked about money. What's a typical cost for doing some PR work for a client?
When people ask me, I said, well, I'm going to charge you $1 million.
Hey!
But, you know, when you make it, you know. But, you know, we have different rates for people, you know, for talent at different levels. Of course, we don't charge the same amount to somebody that is a series regular in a show. You know, we have development rates, you know, so people can call us for that.
I see. You know, logically, it would seem to me if you're an A-lister making millions of dollars and you got to pay PR firms a fees about, what, 10 grand a month or even a week sometimes. What's the problem? You're spending money to make money.
Right. But then publicity at those levels then is different, because you have a publicist then just to say no. You know, some people ask, what kind of publicists are you? The ones that say yes, or they say no? I say, well, I say no sometimes, but mostly yes. You know, I'm the kind of publicist that like to open doors.
That's good. That's good. It's a good attitude. Great attitude, definitely.
Thanks.
Who are some of your current clients?
Okay, some of my current clients. Okay, well, let's start with Isai Morales, which I already mentioned. The great Yvonne Cole. She's also from Puerto Rico. Yvonne Cole is a series regular on the award-winning show Jane the Virgin. And now Yvonne has her directorial debut. She directed a short called From Now On, which she co-stars with the great Ofelia Medina. And we're going to be doing publicity for that. So Yvonne has had a very incredible career, because it's all Broadway. She did Broadway, TV, and film. So we're very busy with her. Gotcha. Lots of things happening. And we have so many, you know, clients. You know, it's better if people go to my IMDb page, because that will increase my rating. Yes.
I normally bring the IMDb page to give it to the guests.
But one client that is not on my IMDb page, because she's a model, is my daughter. She is one of our greatest clients. She just turned 18. She is the new face of Fila, new Fila campaign. And she's been working with Kanye West, I just said that, for a year in his line. So she's an amazing person, and of course she's my daughter, and I'm a little biased, but she's one of our amazing clients as well.
Tell me her stage name again.
Georgie, Jorji. Georgie.
Makes you proud, doesn't it?
Very proud,
Yes.
very proud. And also, I'm proud because she's just very down to earth, and she's more concerned about her horses, and she's not affected by all that, which is, I think, I had something to do with that.
Oh, yeah, because she also says, in reverse, she says, that's my mother. Right, that's my mother. Yes, indeed. So how do you keep up with all these clients? I mean, everyone has got a different want, need, desire. As you know, scripts come all the time.
Yes, yes. It's very, it's hard sometimes because they all have amazing projects. I only mentioned two of them, but you know, we have, for example, Jennifer Berenz and Mauricio Mendoza, who are producers, and they just got back from Sundance, amazing projects in the works. And you know, my right hand, Camille, she's not here today. We are very methodical in how we do. Our goal is to look at every client every day. So it's not like we're just working on one. You know, we work on all of them at the same time. So it's very challenging.
Challenging, yes. Do you need interns by any chance?
Yes, we do. We do. We do have, yes.
How can people get in touch with you?
Through our main page, Espada PR. They can send us a message, and you know, there's my email. And, yeah, and that's great because that's the way you start.
That's the way you start. That's what you did, and that's what they have to do. You got to pay your dues. Pay those dues.
Correct.
Indeed. One of the major factors here in Hollywood, as you indicated before, is image.
Yeah.
How about the Hollywood bad boys, the Hollywood bad girls? What's your flavor about that?
Well, you know, they say there's no such thing as bad publicity,
Right.
but there is such thing as too much publicity and overexposure.
Okay.
And what happens is that, especially now with social media and the impressions that you get online, sometimes a bad story gets on top, and it takes a while to get rid of that, you know, that bad link or that negative publicity. Right. We do it by doing more publicity and pushing them down, because apparently nobody reads past page 3 of Google.
No.
So, you know, that in mind, you know, and again, you know, I think people have to be themselves. If being a bad boy is who you are, then by all means.
Yes.
Just don't be a bad boy for the sake of being a bad boy. Or it's same with the woman. You know, if you are a person, that's who you are and that's what you want to portray. Yes, right. And it's real. You know, just keep it real.
Right, keep it real. I'm not going to mention any names, but you know, when you're a client at 12 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, you get this phone call, or your client is over here, blah blah blah. That's when you got to get them on the run.
Yes, and you know, crisis management is some of the services, because you know, to answer your question before, that we do is crisis management. You know, whenever there's a scandal or something, you know, that shouldn't be out there, we of course are very expeditious in handling it. But we are very lucky that our clients are not that type of client.
Good.
So
don't need that ink.
No.
As you stated earlier, you handle the Latino outreach for major studios.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means that a major studio, let's say, you know, Universal, has a film. They contact us to take care or handle the press, the Latino press for the film.
Gotcha.
And sometimes we do special junkets just for the Latino press.
Right.
But we also do general market. Right. So, yeah, that's what we.
Yes.
And you know, they're very busy, the studios, you know.
Yes.
And because we're smaller in size, we are, you know, more efficient in moving faster.
Yes.
So
the Latino press is growing in this town.
it's huge. And it's very powerful. And I love them all. They're my friends.
Yes.
And they're amazing. They're an amazing group of people.
What's the name of that daily newspaper that's on? It comes out every day.
Which one?
There's a daily news, the biggest daily newspaper, Hispanic newspaper in town here.
It's La Opinión.
La Opinión.
Yes.
Oh, yes. So yes. See that? I sometimes say to my other friends who are in other ethnic groups, how come you don't have a La Opinión? What's wrong with you guys?
Right? It's been there for a long
Long
time. Long time.
Yes.
Yes. And there's people who still read the paper. They don't read it online. So.
Right. I see trucks, TV trucks running around town. I said, hey, go for it.
Yes.
Go for
Yes.
it. Indeed. What is the image that Hollywood wants for Latinos?
I think there's a difference between the image that Hollywood wants and the actual image of the Latino community. I think that so far, our talent has been relegated to just doing certain kind of roles.
Yes.
And again, we're grateful to have those roles. But who's to say that somebody like Yvonne Cole can play a role like Viola Davis is playing right now? You know, so I think that there's a disconnect in terms of image, but I think the image is improving. Esai, for example, he played a gangster on Ozark, okay? But he's also plays the father of one of the students on How to Get Away with Murder. So it's changing little by little, you know, and I don't think it's going to be overnight, but I think that with the movie Black Panther, things are changing. I think that movie is a breakthrough.
So you saw it already?
Oh, yes. And I will go again.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. That's right. That it goes beyond a Marvel film. It's just not like people tell me, "Oh, I'm not into superheroes." Neither am I, really. I went because we took Camille. It was her birthday, so that was part of her birthday celebration, and she does like superheroes. But the movie goes beyond that. I am part African American, as all Puerto Ricans are, and there was something inside of me that movie moved. You know, it's very, very interesting, that film. So I want everybody to see that film.
I gotta go.
Yes, you have to.
That weekend box office, I love it. Over $200 million.
That's right. That's right. It's record breaking. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, they're very. Yeah, people at Marvel must be very happy.
Wow. You know, a couple of years ago, we used to do something. I see a lot of people still doing that. When you go to the movies, advice that we give people: when you pay for your money, look at the ticket. Look at the ticket, because you might pay for, say, I want to see the Black Panther, and somebody will give you another movie.
Really, I never heard of that.
Oh, that's been around for a long time. Yes.
Really, just to boost the ticket sales?
Just to boost the ticket sales, yeah.
Wow, never heard of that.
Well,
actually, we went to the ArcLight, which we had a premiere that we ran 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the Chadwick, the main character, was there with his kids, which is like only in Hollywood. You know, you're going to the movies and there's the main character of the Black Panther. Yeah, it's really kind of funny.
Really something.
Yeah.
Really something. You know, back to that stereotype Hollywood dies image of Latinos.
Yeah.
The sombrero, always sleeping, drinking tequila, get the guitar. That's nice, but it's time to get away from that.
Yes.
It's time to get away from it. It's amazing the patience that the Latinos have in this country. It's amazing.
Yes, and not only Latinos, all ethnic groups.
Yes.
You know, because it's the Asians, the African American, same stereotypes, and sometimes we are guilty of pushing the same stereotypes. You know,
do what you gotta do.
That's right, but we have to change the times. You know, and that's why I'm saying this movie Black Panther is going to change. It's a game changer.
Okay, it's a game changer, definitely.
Yeah.
As you know, you're not alone. Blacks, Asians, American Indians have been down that road in Hollywood for years, and they're still fighting for roles in front of the camera, behind the camera, other jobs like that. What's your thoughts about that subject?
Well, Ron, the problem is that there are no people of color on positions of power in the studios. That's one. There's no Latino showrunners. Right. There's no, Asian showrunners. So that's where it stops, So the Latinos and the other ethnic groups get whatever role that needs to be put in the story, because it has to be, because you can't have a movie only with white people.
Right.
So that's what I think. And I've heard that there are efforts now to start programs in universities for Latino showrunners, which I'm very excited about. And then, and only then, you're going to see change.
Right. The next generation.
That's right. That's right.
Generation.
Yes.
Okay. Got to take a break for our sponsors. We'll continue with you in just a moment. Our guest, Jasmin Espada. The studios of Harvey Brandman, Photography as an Art, are proud to offer a $100 discount off of any photo package for you or your family valued at $300 or more. Now, Harvey has been in the business for nearly a quarter of a century and can give you this opportunity right now. So give him a call today at 818-954-9294. That's 818-954-9294. You'll be glad that you did, and tell them that you heard about this offer right here on The Actor's Choice. Mass Murderers in America, a realistic book seen and heard in today's headlines. Mass Murders in America details every mass murder since September 1949 up to September 2015 and the San Bernardino case. The book was written by a dear friend, attorney Ron Irwin, and is currently available from Lulu Press in paperback for a discount price of $15.37. That's lulu.com for mass murderers in America. And by the way, if you have any commercials that you'd like to have played on this program, please call 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. Thank you. My guest today is Jasmin Espada, Hollywood entertainment publicist, and this is the Actor's Choice, and I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Before the break, we were talking about the struggle for minorities, especially Latinos, fighting for roles and other jobs. Do you think that Hollywood is listening?
Maybe. I mean, recently, and I was telling you about this when we were at the green room, we went to the announcement, the SAG announcements for the awards. We woke up, 4 o'clock in the morning, and we, were credentialed to be there and all great. When I got to the press room, I only saw one Latino media outlet. And that took me aback. I went to talk to them, and I'm like, oh, you guys are the only ones here? Oh, yeah, we are. Then I knew why. There were no Latinos nominated for a SAG award. Right. And I was there because we were pretty convinced that one of our clients was going to get a nomination. Yeah. But very ironic. Yeah. And it happens in award shows. You see it on award shows mostly, where you see a particular actress or actor being nominated year after year after faces, year right. after year. Right. We're not going to name any names, right. but you know who I'm talking about. Sure. So I've grown very disillusioned on award shows, and I've done all of them, like all the red carpets that you can imagine. But we need to do more work in opening the doors for nominating the work of amazing Latino talent and and African American talent and Asian talent. I mean, it's just not only about a certain type of actor. Right. So yes, it's a battle. It continues, and I've dedicated my life to make that change. So
I wish you well.
Thank you.
I had that experience for about 6 years in a row. I used to work for American Urban Radio Networks. I was the Los Angeles bureau chief. Myself and Aldo Collier from Jet Magazine, Ebony Jet Magazine, we were the only two African Americans at the Academy Awards. Wow. Only two. Aldo, Ron, how you doing? They look like, what are you guys doing here? Like, what are you looking at? We're supposed to be here. For about 6 straight years, we're the only African Americans in there.
Right,
wow,
right. But it's not only an entertainment. I was talking to a client. He's the father of one of our clients, and he is African American. He was telling me that he had the highest post in the Pacifica base in the military, and he was pretty much, there were 2 African Americans in top military, and he was one of them. Yeah. So it's like we just have to keep doing our work, working with our youth. Right. Very important to reach out to the youth.
As we say, the struggle continues.
Yes.
Indeed. Jasmin, as you know, Latinos make up 18% of the population here in the United States, but only 3% of speaking characters in films during the last decade were Latino. This according to a study last July by USC professor Stacy L. Smith. And this is what gets me. For the 6th year in a row, no Hispanic actor or actresses were nominated for an Oscar. Your thoughts?
I think it's an outrage because the performances are there to be seen and to be evaluated and to be nominated. But I think I think that it's kind of a consideration maybe on the part of the Academy voters that if those doors are open, then there's no turning back. It's almost like, I think it's a little bit fear-based. That's what I think, my opinion, what I observed. The status quo has to be maintained, and that's when we need to change, because we are all the status quo. We need to, you know what I mean? We're part of that. We are part of that American, family photograph. Yes. There's people of all colors in that photograph.
At this year's SAG Golden Globe Awards, Guillermo del Toro, he got up and he was a winner. He didn't win, by the way, last night at BAFTA. He didn't win there last night. But when he won it at that Golden Globe Award, they tried to play him off with the music. He said, wait a minute, I've been here. It took me 25 years to get here.
Good for him.
And he went ahead and said what he had to say.
Yes.
And you have to pat him on his back for that.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
There are several groups, especially the National Hispanic Media Coalition, who held a protest Monday, February 5th, outside the Beverly Hilton at the annual nominees luncheon. We have a picture that you can see out there. You can see the people out there, the protesters are out there. They were upset. Also, a gentleman by the name of Alex Nogales. He's the president of the Hispanic Media Coalition, giving a speech. I understand that plans are also underway to protest and demand more Hispanic actors and actresses outside of the upcoming Academy Awards on March the 4th.
Yeah, I know Alex, know the organization very well. I am of the belief that picketing and making demonstrations sometimes might not be the best idea.
Okay.
I think that you have to have, good public relations, and I think that opening a dialogue, will be better just to talk to people directly and to the groups directly, to the Academy voters directly, than to picket, because that just leaves a mark, and that's just, I don't know if it accomplishes anything other than the people are protesting. And of course, it's sanctioned by the Constitution, and people have the right to protest. And there is a reason for the protest. It's not that there isn't, but I think there are better ways.
I'm watching the young youth today. They are on the move. I see, as you know, with the killings that we had in Florida, and in March, middle of March, they're expected to have a nationwide march on the Capitol. And they're saying to a lot of these politicians, hey, if you get any money from NRA, we're not going to vote for you no more.
I know. I'm one of the biggest proponents of banning the NRA for years, as I am also, I fight against pharmaceutical companies. That is the big problem. And of course, the president was put there by that organization. There, I said it.
Hey, it's true. I mean, the number one industry in America today is pharmaceuticals.
Right.
What's number two?
Well, it's probably,
pornography. Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It used to be the other way around, but they switched it.
Right.
As you know, the impact of the media on our society, especially our children, they want to see somebody up on that screen who looks, sounds, and acts like them. What are your hopes?
My hopes is that we have more actresses on the screen, like Gina Rodriguez, for example, because she's an incredible example of an amazing actress who a lot of girls looked at her and go like, you know what, that's me. And that's been incredible, and that's been part of the success of that show. And, her greatness, and how many Gina Rodriguez are out there?
Not too many.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
You can count them on one hand.
That's right.
Yeah.
But she's going to inspire a lot of girls to one day, maybe through the show, like maybe be a writer like she's on the show, or being an actress. Yeah.
The young youth of today, and when it comes to public relations, what advice do you give to them to get in that position?
I say get a good course on communications. There's a very good one on UCLA. It's actually an extension course that you can do. But there's also a book that the first edition is a masterpiece. It's called Effective Public Relations by Cutlip and Center. Don't read the subsequent, editions, because they were altered. Only the first edition is the one. We call it the PR Bible.
Gotcha.
There's many PR Bibles, but that's my PR Bible.
Gotcha. They altered the book, huh?
Yeah.
That's like asking somebody, you know George Washington, but do you know who George Washington Carver was?
Yes.
For all the years that you've been doing, Jasmin, I know your family has given you great support. Can you talk about that, the feelings that your family has about what you've done and where you're moving?
Yes, my family is very supportive. My both parents are deceased, however, but my sister, she's a big fan, and my family, they're more interested in me, of course, as a person. But they, when I go visit, they ask me, what about this and that, and these artists and these other artists, and that conversation probably takes an hour, and then after that, it's back to we're all fighting.
Okay.
Like a family.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Because you see a lot of good-looking young men, handsome young men, and beautiful little baby girls. How do you get them into the system?
The system, okay, that's a good question. There's many ways. The way I look at talent, I go, okay, well, that girl will be great for Disney. And we give them advices on how to get there, to see producers or casting. But one of the main problems for people to get in the industry is that agents and managers don't want to work with you unless you have credits.
Yeah.
Which I think is really interesting.
Yes.
Because the fact that you did a job doesn't mean that you're better actor than the one that you have in front of you that have no credit. You know what I mean? So I'm probably one of the few ones in Hollywood who are still adamant about developing talent, and I love doing it. And that's why we have a program to develop talent.
Gotcha.
We're probably the only ones doing it.
No.
You either have a big name,
Right.
or you have big credits, or you are 17 years old.
Gotcha. Because you see some beautiful little kids move around, you say,
Right.
they would make, I could see them in a movie now.
Right,
But the
right.
parents don't know the system. They don't know how to
Right.
get into it.
Right, and it's difficult because there's so many, false advertisements out
Yes.
there.
Oh, yes.
I tell parents, whenever they tell you that they're going to charge you to get your kids, just say no.
No.
Yeah.
Say no.
The real agents and managers, they don't charge. They charge you when you get the job.
Right, because you look at a celebrity, they are. There's a whole team around them: the manager, the agent, the publicist, the
Entertainment lawyer,
oh yes, the lawyer, yes, the CPA.
very important.
No, gotta have all the assistants, all
The
these
drivers, the
Yes.
hair and makeup, the stylist. Yeah, it's a big group of people.
And they all get
say
it-
take a village, right?
people. Exactly, it takes a village, indeed. What's a typical day for you?
A typical day for me. Okay, well, I wake up and I start making my decaf coffee, and then I take my dog Luna, who's a puppy, German Shepherd puppy, for a walk, for an hour walk. That's how my days start. And then I dare to turn my phone on. And that's when all the text messages and all the emails, and
Yes.
then, we get to the office and we just start rolling, and then we don't realize it's already 7 o'clock.
Right.
And I'm like, Camila's like, we didn't eat again.
And of course, the 3-hour time difference between East Coast, West Coast doesn't.
Oh
help
my
with
God, that doesn't help. And we have clients, we also have clients in Puerto Rico, we have clients in Europe, and it's a mess.
Yes. But what keeps you going?
What keeps me going? My daughters,
Yes.
my 2 daughters, I do everything for them.
Gotcha.
All the work is for them.
No limits.
No limits for those 2 now. Like, for example, after this show, I'm going to go pick up the youngest one, in Westlake. So, just 40 minutes that way.
Okay.
On the 101 freeway. So we
Gotcha.
do whatever it is that needs to be done.
Gotcha. Who's your best publicist?
Well, it's funny because we call Rogers and Cowan our mother PR agency.
people,
And
good
yes,
folks.
yes, and there's a publicist there named Jason Magner, who I said, if I ever screw up, you're my publicist. So we're always joking about that.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Believe me, if something happens, there'll be a few publicists,
Yeah.
to the rescue.
To the rescue, yes. Rogers and Cowan, been around for a long,
Yeah.
long time.
They're amazing.
They are amazing. I used to do a lot of work with them and for different movies and whatever, and they would always service you, and the attitude was great.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of the name of the lady who used to do the Grammys for us. She's been there for years. I don't know if she's still there.
Yes, no, but I know what you're talking about.
She's no longer there?
No.
Oh my God, missed her. She did a lot of work for us, yes.
Yeah.
What are the rewards of having a PR firm right here in Big O Hollywood?
There are many. One is the constant hands-on advice that you get. It's not like, sometimes you don't talk to your manager, but you talk to your publicist.
Yes.
Legend has it that Tom Cruise used to talk to his publicist every night,
Right.
to Pat Kingsley.
Pat Kingsley, yes.
Yes, which is one of my heroes. So the relationship with the publicist is like no other. It's like we are the everything for the talent, We're like the quarterback. So yes, the benefits are many. We're there with you when sometimes you were on a red carpet and you freeze because, there is daunting sometimes. You
Yes.
walk on a red carpet and you see that this line of press. We're there to help the talent, and we love doing it.
I know you do. I know you do.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to aspiring publicists? I think I asked that question before.
Yes, to
You did.
read.
Yes.
Yeah, effective public relations.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
I'm
Carl
getting
Evans
a little
Center.
old these
Oh
days.
no,
yeah.
nobody's getting old. We're
Yes.
going down kicking.
Yeah. And you told me you do take interns. I know I didn't
Right,
ask you that
right,
question.
right.
Is there a telephone number they can call to get it if they're interested?
Yes, which is my number, which is all over the internet. It's on the website as well. 818-521-3807.
Okay. When you're in this business, your telephone number, it's no longer yours.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, keep it private. Why? It's already
Right,
everywhere.
exactly.
Every time there's that's the phone one of the phones that we use for press releases, so it's out there.
Right. And of course, I can't say it enough. They need to know how to write. You have to know how to write.
Yes.
It's amazing with the advent of computers, there are less people actually looking at the press release before it goes out.
Correct. And the press releases are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And and we have a problem with our youth where they don't read anymore. The other day I go to, Counterpoint here at in Hollywood, because I collect antique books, and there's only 4 people there. Saturday night, of course, most people are out there, partying. But I'm like, there's no young people like looking at books, or it's sad that everything is on the on the phone. And
then there's this.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm guilty of that too, but I use it mostly for work. But
Yes.
it's people need to learn, to go back to read those books, those
Yes.
classics.
Yes, and you can learn a lot of it from
Yes,
stuff.
absolutely.
They've researched the information. You got a good book to sit down and read.
Right.
There's the old facade. Do you read the book and then see the movie, or do you see the movie and then read the book?
Right. I remember reading the Pelican Brief as a book, and then reading and seeing the film. I'm like, people are like, oh, it's never like of course it's never like the book. Do you expect like page by page, blow by blow account of the book by film? It's not possible.
What do you say to people when they ask you, what do you do for a living?
It's funny. That's what happens in LA, right? You're in a gathering and what is your name? My name is Jasmin Espada. What do you do? That's usually the second question. And I decided that next time I'm going to say I am a foreign government operative. Maybe that will stop the conversation right there. I don't know. It was just joking, but.
I understand. But they always ask that question all the time.
Yes.
And you've got to have your famous business card. You got to have that.
Right, and it's funny because I don't have any right now, and I'm like reluctant to make any, because I don't know. When you are in those circles where in Hollywood, people are not really passing business cards.
Right.
So it's kind of it's frowned upon. So I don't have.
But I'm going to put a plug in here. As you know, I work at Santa Monica College. We've got some great filmmaking classes out there. We've got some great PR classes out there.
Great.
We're #1 transfer in the nation. We keep telling people going out there.
Go. Pursue a career in public relations. There's not enough publicists.
Yes.
That's a problem.
Right. I teach broadcasting, journalism,
you
and communications. We're not in any slip of journalism class, me. Awesome. I do mostly communications and broadcasting. Love it.
Great.
We got a brand new building out there. There's another plug.
I gotta go. I gotta go visit you and Mr. Carrasco.
Yes, Mr. Carrasco. We are very proud of that young man.
Yes.
Every time
me too.
Oh God, because he gets invited. Tell folks who he is, please. Who is Mr. Carrasco?
Oh my God, he's amazing. He produced a film with Alvaro Domingo years ago called La Conquista. It was an amazing epic film. If so he's an incredible person. He's un erudito, como digo yo. He's very, well read.
Yes. Him and his family. His family is very much involved in things.
Amazing.
I didn't know he used to be at USC. Then he came over to Santa Monica College.
Right. Yes.
And that's been a blessing ever since he got there.
Yes, he's a great asset.
Yes.
Great asset. Like you are.
Back at you. Thank you. So, how do you stay current in this business?
Well, by working, by staying, we went to see Black Panther.
Yes.
I needed to see because I knew something told me that movie was going to be a game changer. You have to keep, with current affairs. I tried not to see the media so much, because sometimes it can be overwhelming. I monitor it, but I don't get bombarded by it because it will take attention, from your work.
Yes.
But yes, and of course I read Deadline.
Okay, Deadline. Deadline.
Every day.
Okay. You belong to EPS?
Yes, and EPS is transitioning, but yes, it's an amazing organization, and with Marilyn and all the people that I learned, I met there. Incredible people, like iconic. Like I met, for example, I don't remember his name now, but he invented the step and repeat.
Yes.
He's
What's
one
the
of the
step and
publishers.
repeat?
The media wall.
The sign behind you, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
he's like,
yes.
he was like, wait a minute, those pictures could have been taken anywhere. Right. Let's do something in the back. So there you go.
There you go.
So
it's
people
amazing.
like that, and the red carpet, the story about the red carpet.
No.
We do a lot of premieres at the Egyptian Theater.
Okay.
The American Cinematheque owns the Egyptian Theater. Well, when Sid Grumman bought the theater, he was married to Mary Pickford.
Okay.
And she drove in front of the theater, and this is a story that was told to me by my great friend Alex Mendoza. If he's listening, hello. She said, "Okay, well, I'm not gonna walk from the street all the way to the entrance because it's gonna ruin my shoes." And he's like, well, I'm going to throw you a carpet. He was looking for a purple carpet, like in Europe, like for royalty.
Right.
But he couldn't find a purple one, so he found a red one. Yes. So every time we do a red carpet at the Egyptian, we know we're on holy ground. So
Indeed.
it is.
Red is a little bit closer to my favorite color.
Yes. Yes.
Green.
Right.
My favorite color.
Yes.
One of my favorite questions that I always like to ask the guests when they come here, and that is, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as a good mom who did a great job raising her daughters. And I also want to be remembered as somebody that flew a lot of power to talent and help people achieve their dreams.
Okay.
If I can do those two things, I'll be very happy.
Achieve their dream. Hold on one second. I got something for you.
Yes,
I got
you
something
do.
for you.
Another thing, you really gave me something.
Yes. Voila.
Oh my God, this is amazing. Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure.
And it's in my
pleasure.
name. Oh
We
my
are
God.
honored to have you here
Thank
today.
you so
Definitely.
much. Thank you.
Definitely.
It's my honor.
Yes, indeed, indeed, and we want to let folks know that we're very, very proud of you. Keep on doing what you're doing. We want to, but before we do it, I got to give you guys a commercial before we get out of here.
Yes.
Want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandman with his photography as an art studio. Remember, a $100 discount for any photo package over $300. Call 818-954-9294. That's 818-954-9294. And Ron Irvin, good friend of ours, with his book, Mass Murderers in America. That's Ron Irvin. To get a discount paperback copy at $15.37, contact Lulu Press. That's Lulu Press at lulu.com. Lulu.com. And again, Jasmin, we want to thank you very much for stopping on by today,
You're
lady.
very welcome,
Thank you,
Mike.
thank you.
I want to come back.
Yes, we would like to have you come back, because we just sit in the surfaces.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that we ran out of time, but people need to know what's out there. But thank you so much.
You're
and
welcome.
we want to thank you for being with us today, and we'll see you the next time. Yeah.
Bye.
Like I said,